begin haltering, I get his halter all laid out and make sure nothing's twisted, and I take that throat latch and just use the buckle to latch it. I scooch everything back just so that it fits comfortably. Next, I secure him to the stall bars. I just run that rope through and loop it over itself, and then I put it through its own hole just so that everything's nice and even. This is just to keep him safe and me safe. It's a breakaway knot so that if he decides to jump up, he's not going to hurt himself, and it'll just slowly release. To start grooming, I'll take the rubber curry brush and just brush in circular patterns. This just helps to get all of the stuck dead and dirt out of his coat. After, I'll follow with a stiff brush. This just helps get those remaining bits of hair and dirt off, and you just flick your wrist a little bit. Pretty easy, pretty nice. Finally, you'll follow behind everything else with a soft brush. This just gets those remaining bits of hair and dirt out. Moving on, we'll pick the feet. You ask for the foot and then scrape away from yourself with the hoof pick. Alright. Next is tacking. So first we'll get his saddle pad on, we'll slide it up his wither and then back down so it's comfortable. Next is the actual saddle. Start from the left side, pick it up and slide it over. Then we'll take that saddle pad and put it right up into that swell area, just so it's not pinching his withers. Next, I'll undo the billet strap and get the girth from my riding partner. I'll loop that through that D-ring. And then make sure that everything is looped through correctly and even. Now that I've tightened and evened up the billet strap for the most part, I'll tap him and go behind just to make sure that everything lines up with his spine. Next are the boots. I'll slip those on, make sure they're in a pretty okay place. Velcro the first two little ones, and usually I go back through and retighten everything. I do a little test, make sure everything's nice and in the right position, and he's ready to go. Now, to get him bridled, I'll take his halter off, and I handed that away. And then to get his bridle ready, I ask for his head back, and then separate the bridle out just to make sure nothing's tangled or twisted. Next, I'll offer him the bit, and he was in a pretty good mood, so he took it. And then I'll slip his ears through just nicely. And then I'll take that throat latch and I'll tighten it just enough. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm also checking the bit to make sure that it's not too tight or too loose. Next, in mounting, I'm there in the back, a nice up and a nice down, and then I put my feet in the stirrups and make sure they're correct. Here's me and Superman, a pretty good walk. slow, steady, and he makes a little mistake, and I just give him a little correction, and walks wonderfully the rest of the time. Here I'm coming around, I'm coming up to Sam, and soon I'll ask for a halt or a stop. And after I'm done talking with her, I have him turn and approach my phone. After I get him to where I want him, I tell him to turn, and he does it beautifully. Again, showing that pretty walk. I start at a halt or stop, and then ask for a walk, and then soon I ask for a little bit more to get into a trot. Right there. You can tell whenever you see those diagonal pairs of legs moving. Right now, I'm going from a trot and then asking to slow down a little bit into a walk. Here, I'm asking for him to turn and then halt. I start bridging those reins to start my demount. However, he starts moving again, and I just ask for a halt and for him to square up a little bit. I bridge those reins again, and then I hop down. As I'm dismounting, I look around, make sure there's no traffic. Ooh, I have a little bit of drag there, but I fix it and I hop down. And of course, end with a few good scratches and fixing my reins. Next is unbridling. I'll just unlatch that throat latch, slip his ears out, and then wait for him to drop the bit. Now I rehalter, and this is just sped up because I've already shown it. Pretty much the exact same process. You organize it, put it over, and then latch it and make sure it's comfortable. Next is taking the saddle off. I'll put that stirrup up on the horn just so it's out of my way. I'll take the belt strap out of the keeper, unhook it from that D-ring, and loosen everything up. Now that I have everything undone, I'll hook it back through that D-ring and make sure everything is nice and flat and evened out. After I'm satisfied with that, I'll take that stirrup off and I'll go around to the other side. I'll tap him just to let him know I'm going around, and then I'll begin taking that girth and putting it in its keeper. Finally, once I'm satisfied, I'll go ahead and gently slide that saddle and saddle pad off and put it up. Next, I'll go ahead and take his boots off. You just undo the bigger flap and the two smaller ones. Here, I'm taking him out of his stall, making sure that he's not going to scrape himself, and that he's good to come out and pretty even and straight. Here I'm demonstrating what it looks like to lead him. My hands are caught up in the line, and everything's nice and even. Now we're turning him out into the pasture and putting his fly mask on, and you just gently put his ears in and strap the Velcro on. Possibly my favorite are my learning opportunities or my bloopers. This was just a really rough demount. Next is when Money decided, well, to start turning in circles. Took me a little bit to learn how to break her out of that. And after talking to Miss Cassie and figuring out how to get her into a trot without her starting to turn, I started using that offhand rein, and she started going good. Perchance my favorite blooper is I was attempting to put Jack's fly mask on, and he decided to run away and start squealing.
No! There he goes.
Thanks for watching!